Hello everyone and welcome to Equals Cash. In this video you are going to learn 33 different Instagram micro tips which are really easy to implement and will skyrocket your growth and engagement on Instagram.
Every day I'm hustling.
One of my favorite self-improvement books is Atomic Habits by James Clear, and the whole premise of this book is that small micro habits that are easily accomplished can have a huge impact on your life when combined. I've asked you recently what you want me to publish next, and most of you wanted Instagram tips and tricks. So in this video I'm going to apply that principle on Instagram and give you 33 small micro tips and tricks that bring huge results in terms of follower growth when combined. Most of these tips work for both personal and team pages, so no matter what type of page you have, make sure to pay attention and start applying these tips as soon as you can. Before we start, make sure to smash that like button, since it only takes a few seconds and will help me grow this channel faster. Tip number 1, have a nice looking clean profile picture. You can make it with Photoshop, Canva or some other software, and make sure that it looks clean and minimalist. Clean looking profile pictures perform much better than stuffed pictures with a ton of details. This is especially important if you're using follow-unfollow growth method. Tip number 2, post consistently. This is one of the most important things when it comes to Instagram algorithm favoring your content. It also builds more trust with your followers and keeps them engaged. Tip number 3, post more. Post at least once per day, but if you have enough content, I suggest you to post at least 2 or 3 times per day. But remember, you need to post consistently, so only post 2 or 3 posts per day if you can maintain consistency. Tip number 4, go to related hashtags and start liking and commenting on recent posts 5 to 10 minutes before you publish a new post and 5 minutes after. These people that you engage with will receive notification and then they maybe reciprocate and like or comment on your new post. Engagement that your post gets in the beginning is really important, and this is really easy way to boost it. Tip number 5, utilize carousels. When using carousels, add as many posts as you can, because Instagram counts each swipe as an engagement. So if you're able to get people to go from first to the last carousel post, you will get much more organic exposure. Tip number 6, always use new features as soon as they roll out. Instagram rewards people who are using new features in order to promote these new features, so make sure to take advantage of that. Tip number 7, use location tags. It's an additional tag that can bring you some extra exposure and can't hurt in any way, so why not? Tip number 8, use location tags in stories as well. Again, it's an additional tag that can bring you more exposure. Tip number 9, always publish stories and have at least one active story all the time. When you publish a story, you get that nice looking circle around your profile image, which makes it stand out much more. Tip number 10, use hashtags in stories. They will bring you additional exposure. I found that between 2 and 4 story hashtags perform the best, so keep that in mind. Number 11, use polls and sliders in your stories when you can. Instagram counts each vote or slider swipe as an interaction, and because of that your story will get better reach. Tip number 12, reply to every single comment that you get. This one is really important, and it's not just a small tip. This is basically a must if you want to grow faster and build strong active audience. But since it's really easy to do, I put it in this video. Number 13, utilize story highlights. It's an additional real estate on your Instagram profile. Again, it brings more exposure, your profile page looks better, and it increases the chance of follow. You can also get pretty creative with highlights and add all sorts of call to actions. Number 14, every time you publish a new post, add it to your story. It increases the amount of stories and with it the amount of total story views. It will also increase your post exposure, reach and engagement. Tip number 15. When you have time, view other people's stories. This increases your exposure since a lot of people check out who viewed their stories. This is especially important and effective if you're doing follow-unfollow. You don't need to actually watch every story. You can just tap the first story, turn off the sound and let your phone check stories automatically. Tip number 16. If you have time, make sure to publish as many stories as you can. Stories are the best way to keep your followers active and engaged. And when you have active followers that always engage with your content, your posts are going to perform better as well. Tip number 17. Publish videos in stories with polls. Video stories with polls have the highest chance to hit the explore page. They are really engaging and can bring you a ton of new people. Tip number 18. Add call to action in caption. Again, this is not a small tip, this is huge and brings a lot of additional followers, in some cases more than 400%. But since it's really easy to do, I've listed it in this video as well. If you are running a team page, you can do this with every post. And if you are running a personal page and don't want to look spammy, you can just add this once you see your post is going viral. Number 19. Make sure to smash the like button on this video if you haven't already. Just kidding, but not really. Please go and hit that like button, it really helps me a lot. But tip number 19 is like posts from your feed. When you have some free time, go through your feed and like people's posts. I've already explained why in several of my videos. Tip number 20. I've explained this already in my video on how to boost your Instagram engagement, but for those of you who haven't watched that, try to publish vertical photos instead of landscape. It takes much more screen real estate and grabs attention more, giving you better engagement and reach. Tip 21. I've also mentioned this one already. Thank people who liked your post in series by giving them a shout out. Other people will see this and like your post in series as well, in hope that you will shout them out as well, which increases your engagement a lot more. This tip is best to use while your account is pretty small. You can use this on big accounts as well, but in my opinion it looks a bit spammy. Tip number 22. If you haven't liked and replied to comments that you received on your post, do it just before publishing a new post. People will get the notification from you, which increases the chance that the new post will pop up in their feed. Tip number 23. Always ask questions in captions. I've explained this already in one of my previous videos, so let me add that here. I've already published a video about captions, but in case you missed it, you should always try to promote commenting with your captions. The best way to do it is by asking questions. I've already explained that there are 3 basic types of questions, and that the best one is something I like to call open-ended questions, because they promote longer and more meaningful comments, which then promote discussion and even more comments. Tip number 24. Use emojis in captions. They look nice and they are much more eye-catching than just plain text. Tip number 25. Try to publish more videos. Videos usually perform better than photos, and you will most likely get higher reach on video posts. They are also more engaging and people will stay longer on your posts, giving you higher retention, which Instagram algorithm also takes into account. Tip number 26. If you have private account, accept followers right before you plan to publish a new post. Once you accept them, they will get a notification and most likely your new post will pop up in their feed, giving you engagement boost, which then gives you much better reach. Tip number 27. Use insights to see when the most of your audience is active. Then make sure to publish a new post 30 to 60 minutes before that. If you are publishing multiple posts per day, make sure to save the best post for the prime time. Tip number 28. Use relevant hashtags. This one probably seems pretty basic, but a lot of people are not using hashtags, or they are just using a few general ones like outfit of the day, picture of the day over and over again. This is really bad hashtag strategy and will lead you nowhere. Tip number 29. Use smaller hashtags. A lot of people think that by using bigger hashtags they will get more reach, but that's the wrong strategy, especially if your account is really small. Instead, use smaller hashtags, which will give you much better chance to rank and get discovered. Tip number 30. Use hashtags in captions instead of in the first comment. I did some testing last year and it seemed that there's no difference between hashtags in captions and in the first comment, but my friend did some testing after that, and hashtags in captions are definitely performing much better. It seems that Instagram changed their hashtag algorithm recently, and they also confirmed that hashtags should be placed in captions. I've already covered these last 3 tips in my hashtag video series, along with some other things, but decided to include these here as well, since these are micro tips. If you want to learn more about my hashtag strategy, make sure to check those videos after this one. Stop all automation and third-party usage. This can lower your account trust and health score, which will lower your reach and ability to rank for hashtags and show up in the Explore page. Tip number 32. Upload IGTV videos and publish them as previews. I've already said that Instagram is trying to build a successful long video platform and is really pushing IGTV preview videos much more than regular content. If you haven't tried already, make sure to do so, and I guarantee that you will get more reach. And finally, tip 33 is to smash that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to my channel with the bell icon if you want more social media and making money online videos. And check some other videos if you want to learn more right now. Thank you so much for watching and see you in my next video. Bye.